Greetings, comrades! This is Sergei Kilemov in another HDR video, and today I got a very cool revolver to show you today. This is a Chiappa Rhino series of revolvers. We got the 20DS, the 40DS, the 50DS, and the 60DS. It's basically 2-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch barrels, respectively. Now, what's cool about the Chiappa Rhino series of revolvers is you can see the barrel is actually on the bottom of the cylinder, whereas with their typical revolver here, such as this Colt Python, it's on the top. Now, the reason for this bottom barrel is decreased recoil, which is very good because this is a 357 Magnum, though there are also some chambered in 40 S&W, and there's even one chambered in 9mm. But of course, all of these are 357. Another interesting thing about these revolvers is that this is not actually the hammer. The hammer is actually inside the gun. It's shrouded inside. This is actually the external cocking lever. And of course, with many revolvers, you have a 6-round capacity, and you'll notice that the cylinder is actually hexagonal as opposed to round like most revolvers. But they load just the same. 6 shots of 357 in a small package. So you noticed it doesn't kick like that when you pull the trigger. It's actually pretty minimal. That's the beauty of the bottom barrel design here. Now, in comparison, let's show off this Colt here. Notice the larger muzzle rise. Granted, it's not that big in this game, but again, the lower barrel is supposed to decrease the amount of recoil. It's just very handy, especially if it's this small. This is a 2-inch barrel, keep in mind. And you'll notice, because of its size, no Picatinny rails, so I guess it makes sense. It makes it easy to conceal. So now we have the 40DS, which is a 4-inch barrel, and it may not have a rail here, but there's actually a smaller one here, so if you want, you can put on a laser sight. Let's load this one up. And of course here, since it's 357, you have 3 different ammo types. You got jacketed hollow point, full metal jacket, and of course tracer if you want to, fire in the nighttime or whatever. I'll admit I like this gun, it's just the way it looks and the way it fires. Now, this is actually based on a different series of revolvers known as the Taba revolvers, which basically have the same design, the bottom barrel and the cylinder, and internal hammer. Again, it calls for decreased recoil, and overall, in my opinion, nice little profile. Then move to the 50DS. There's that. As I mentioned, well, that has a Picatinny around. This one does too. It's a little longer, but again, no top rail. However, if you want that, I suggest you get my personal preference, the 60DS. We have a Picatinny around the bottom, as well as one on the top. So, if you want to install a sight, you can do that. But of course, with a weapon like this, what you really need is a nice little scope. Might be a little excessive, but you can do that. Now, just to show you real quick. So this is a Colt Python. We've seen this in many movies and video games. Basic revolver, we've seen this a lot. But again, we have a longer barrel here, but it's in the top, which means a lot of vertical climb. And of course, you don't have any rails on here, so you can't really customize as much as this little guy. But let me show you something real quick. Okay. Now, here's a Colt Python. And here's a Chiappa Rhino. So this definitely has a little more vertical climb than this. And keep in mind, this is 357 Magnum we're talking here. And you expect it to have a lot of recoil, especially in a gun like this. But thanks to this gun's unique and innovative design, it doesn't have nearly as much recoil and climb as a good old Python does. So there you have it, comrades. That is the Chiappa Rhino series of guns. Got the 2-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, and my personal favorite, the 6-inch. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you look forward to the next one. Until then, do svidaniya.